So yeah, that able to change on now. As you can see, I've got the new M10 drive. So anyway, let's get it sent. Good morning, you handsome lot. It is Monday yet again, but however, it's not all ups. Unfortunately, we've got a bit of a down, and when I say down, we've got a BMW X6 with a rear suspension fault. Now, I've had this car now for quite some time. Now, I don't know whether it's my mistake or I have been misled. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about the story and about the vehicle. The car come into me, which had been diagnosed by another garage. Now, the other garage is a reputable garage, and he is a BMW specialist, and he's very, very good. And it was diagnosed as the compressor and the valve block. Common, but yeah. So right, look at this. I have changed the compressor because the motor itself seized and it kept blowing the fuse in the fuse box. Now, when you change the compressors on these vehicles, it is always good practice to change the valve block as well, which controls the air to which side of the vehicle that it needs to go to. So I put the new compressor on, I put the brand new valve block on. I took the car down the road for 2 minutes. The car was perfect. Customer come to pick it up. Within 5 minutes he was back here, and he was like, lights come back on again and the car's sunk on one side. I don't like comebacks or boomerangs or whatever you want to call them. So I thought, right, let's get the car in the air, let's pump the suspension up as high as we can go. So I pumped it up, I got me little soapy water now, and I soaked everywhere. All the air lines, all the airbags, looking for leaks. And I couldn't find a leak. So I was in the car, and I could look, well, I was underneath the car with my scanner, and I could lower the suspension in increments. And I heard a psst. So I went underneath it quickly and had a little look, and right enough, there was an airbag that was split. So I changed an airbag. So I thought, buzzing, we fixed it. How wrong was I? Like I said, I've had this car now for a little bit of time, and I've spoke to various people. Specialists, BMW Master Techs, and they've all said, well, if you've done all that right, you must have a sensor fault, and either a sensor fault or a bracket fault, because what was happening when I was driving down, after I changed the bag, after about 5 minutes of driving, the car had just sunk on one side, and I was like, what's going on? So I racked my head, looked at live data, and yeah, you could see the car going down and one thing and another. So I calibrated it again, and I put brand new from BMW brackets and sensors on. So I calibrated it all again, put the new sensors in, and it was perfect. Took the car down the road for 5 minutes, bang. This one rear side here would drop down, and the other side would go right the way up. So again, I am absolutely scratching my little head a rooney now. So I'm talking to various other people again, and they're saying, Baz, you sure you haven't got the airlines mixed up? I'm like, no, honestly, mate, I promise. I never swear, but I was cursing left, right and centre. So, talking to the customer on the weekend, and he sent me a little link. And I read the link, and lucky for me, that I take pictures of everything. Now remember, it didn't matter what I did to this car, it would always drop on one side and lift the other. Right, you ready? Can you see the colours? This is the original valve block. So we've got blue on the left and red is on the right. You ready? I can't believe it. Can you see? I can't believe it. I'm absolutely kicking myself. But let's be honest, would you go colour to colour, or would you go the opposite way around? I've just gone with my natural instincts, who've gone colour to colour with the pipes. Look at it there. Let's get these pipes swapped over and see if we can fix it. Now, as you can see, I've got the compressor and the valve block off again, just to show you. I'll put them side by side. I am kicking myself, I'm not going to lie. But what can you do? Your natural thing is to go colour to colour. Misleading. Now we put the compressor back onto the vehicle and we've put the pipes the right way but the wrong way. It just goes it goes against everything. It does. You can't blame me for that sort of thing, you know, you just can't. But I've been seriously misled. Let's put all this trim back together now and we'll get down and fill those bags and see what's happening. Now I've filled the suspension up, we've calibrated the rear ride height sensors, and I was doing all this before and it was perfect. I'll show you now. We even got pretty much well within its tolerance numbers on the deviation on the rear ride height sensors. Now trying to find that fault, that misleading, should I say, I have checked and I've gone through this vehicle with a fine tooth comb. Even to a point where, you know, the little plastic lever arms of the suspension's arm to the sensor, they were seized. I even took some live data, like with me twisting them, and I'll show you now. You can see me twisting the sensors, and one was seized. And even live data when we've even driven the vehicle, and I'll show you now. Can you see them separating? It's when they do, obviously, the left's doing what the right should be doing and the right's doing what the left should be doing. And when it's going that much difference in it, that's when you get in the fault code of a level lowering time or something. It was, I can't remember the fault code, but this vehicle has absolutely done my head in. So the proof is in the pudding when we test drive it. So we're going to jump in the car now and take it for a test drive. And of course we've had to come and put some fuel in, but we have got the customer with me, so we're going to take him for a test drive and we're going to, fingers crossed, see how it goes. Well, we're out in the car now and we've been here probably for about 10-15 minutes. Rather than go down the main roads, I've decided to come down some back lanes and give it a fair chance of giving the suspension a bit of a testeroonie. But normally, by now, the light and the fault would have come back. So fingers crossed, we've got about 10 minutes left in the journey now. We'll get to the garage and we're going to check everything over once again. So yeah, after about 10-15 minute test, well, probably about 20-25 minute test drive, we've got back now and the car is sitting absolutely perfectly level. I'll just show you. It's perfect. The customer has come to pick it up. Like I said, he was in the car with me on the test drive, so he's more than happy. If he's happy, I'm happy. But this job has been just wrecked my head. I'm not going to lie. Something so simple, but I've been misled. I'm thinking that that valve block is possibly for other models or other manufacturers, and it's, I don't know. But I'm hoping that this video might help you out. It might not. If you're having a similar problem after you've changed your valve block and compressor, this could be what you're having. So anyway, resolved, fixed, eventually. Let's get it sent.